next year it'll be 10 years in the UFC for you. And so to me, it only seems appropriate that you would be a part of this historic series of fights on Fight Island in Abu Dhabi in response to the coronavirus. What do you feel about it? What do you think about you being part of it?
I love it. Honestly, like right when they started holding fights, I think you've seen it. Like fighters just want to, they just want to be a part of it. And you know, for a while I was like, hey, you know, like I'm not trying to like jump into a fight where I'm at in my career, you know, without everything open and the proper preparation. But once the first event came on, like I just felt so prideful to be a part of the sport and the UFC. You're always proud and you're in this great organization. You see us doing amazing things, but like the way this has gone with the whole world watching, the fights have been incredible. I was just proud. I was like, man, that is so cool. Like I want to be a part of it. I want to experience this. This is a rare thing, you know, you're going to get to experience. And, you know, I was lucky enough to get the call. And I was also extra lucky to get the call once things really started to open up. Things started to open up, so I didn't have to sacrifice my training and compromise anything. You know, the gyms were open. Everything's honestly been really good. And the fact I get to do it at Fight Island, I mean, like Apex was cool, but Fight Island is another world.
As for the fight itself, a rematch with the guy you just fought in March, you got knocked
Yes.
out in the second round, but he didn't get that vacant flyweight title because he missed weight by 2.5 pounds. Do you feel lucky to get this rematch or justified that you deserve this because of his weight miss?
Yeah. Well, I actually feel justified a lot because another thing that's left out of like the stats that just say TKO is there was a lot of controversy on the finish. There was an illegal blow, which was a headbutt that cut me open and pretty much ended the fight for me. It rocked me. I didn't even know it was a headbutt that started till after. So I was already out, you know, pretty much got a free punch from me. You know, you see an illegal blow, whether it's a low blow, an accidental headbutt, the fight gets stopped, the person gets checked out, he has time to recover. The referee wasn't in sight to see it. You know, you have that little split second where you can attack after an illegal blow, and that's what he did. So I feel justified in that range. I won the first round on every judge's scorecard. Fight was going really good. The headbutt kind of ended everything for me, so I feel justified in that. And at the same time, like, obviously it was terrible that he missed weight, but it's like, who knows what would have happened if he made weight and now he was the champion. Like the fact that it's still vacant, it was almost good that he missed weight and that happened. So there was just too many variables, you know, and controversies there not to. You know, we're still the two best guys in the division. At the end of the day, the fight finished with a ton of controversy and no title. So, you know, I think it was the right move. And yeah, I'm happy. Like it is weird that you asked that, because like I do just feel justified. Like I don't feel like lucky. I just feel like, all right, I get to finish this. Like this is the right thing. I wish the fight would have got stopped when I headbutted and we could have went from there. You know, whether it was like, hey, the cut's too bad or whatever. So even though I got the title fight again, I wasn't like excited, because I was just like, I already did all this. Like I already did all the excitement. I did all the interviews, but now I had to go through this terrible, like it was like traumatic for me having that like end like that for me. And like I had to go through all that just to do this again. So it was kind of, it was like a funny thing. I'm like, I'm not excited. I'm just like, want to do it again. Like it's the same fight for me. It's a continuation of what we were doing already. So
You're picking up in round two.
yes, exactly. That's how I feel.
You've got some loose ends to tie up.
Yes, and with a little bit more information about how to, you know, approach it as well. So it's all good things.
I do want to ask you about that, but the headbutt, you guys both kind of came together. I don't
Yeah.
think it was really him. I think it was kind of even. Perhaps
Yeah.
you were leading with your head. Do you agree?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're both very aggressive fighters and we both throw short punches, like hooks. So that is formula for a headbutt. You know, we're not staying long. We're both aggressive. We're both throwing short punches. And you even see in boxing fights. So both of us have what's called an open stance, where it's southpaw orthodox or orthodox southpaw. So you're open. And, sometimes even in boxing, the most, technical guys that are just fighting with their hands, they're saying, hey, these guys are an open stance, southpaw orthodox. Looks like a headbutt is inevitable. Looks like, even in a boxing fight, you see a lot of clashing of heads when the stances are opposite. So, yeah, we were coming together. I mean, we were brawling in there, and that is another formula for headbutt, and leading with your head when you're both doing that, and the aggression as well. So, I mean, funny enough, after the fight in Portuguese, he actually bragged about headbutting me, and his corner, his translator obviously didn't say what he said, but Portuguese media actually reached out to me and was like, did you know, like, after the fight, he actually said this, and he was bragging about, I just lower my head like a bull if I know someone's, which is another illegal thing, is just to lower it. That's like an intention. So, maybe he was just saying that to get under, to make something, but it wasn't reported as well. So,
And
it is what it is.
some fighters like to use their heads.
Yeah, exactly. So I was kind of like, hey, it doesn't surprise me because, he seemed like kind of a dirty fighter and kind of like a villainous guy anyway already to start. So I was like, all right, well, if you want to like intentionally hurt me, like that just feeds me even more to go in and, do the same.
So you have that piece of information on him. What else did you take away from your first meeting?
Yeah, just a ton of stuff. Really that, he's going to be there to fight, which I like. Like a lot of guys with my style being aggressive and coming forward, they kind of avoid the fight and look at it more as like, a game or a sport to, hey, I'm going to point fight him. I'm going to stay away. I'm going to do this. But, I like that he's really going to be there to fight, which is good. He wasn't scared to go for a takedown, which I love to mix that up. If someone can take me down and we get to the ground faster, like I have full faith in myself, coming up in a scramble and getting on top. Me and my coaches say like taking me down is like taking yourself down. So I like that he wasn't scared to just mix it up at all. And that was really good. And at the end of the day, I look at the fight and I fought to his strengths. And I won the first round on every scorecard, and it was going good. Like I fought to his strengths, him being bigger, standing toe to toe with him. And I still won the first round, where that's his best way to fight. And I have like a ton of other, tactics and strategies I can use as well. And even that with a default way to brawl a brawler, I could still come out on top. So yeah, there's a lot to take away. I'm excited.
Might it benefit you to be more tactical and maybe take them into the later rounds?
No, 100%. The thing with me is I feel I have better cardio than everyone in the weight division, in the UFC. I have tests at the PI and fights that show that, and when you have better cardio for someone than somebody, and you feel you're more tactical than someone with your fight IQ. I have over 40 fights, I have championship experience, 5-round experience, 3 different times before him. So yeah, it's it 100% benefits me. And it's not always the easiest thing when you hear the crowd and you're landing punches, just to be like, hey, you know what? Cool down and circle when you're hitting the guy. That's just not my style, to be like, the guy's tired, I'm hurting him. Let me so it's easier said than done for me. Like I am an aggressive fighter by nature. That's just, the way it is. But yeah, like I've been thinking the whole camp, I'm like, all right, so I have better cardio. I'm better tactically, technically, fight IQ, everything. It's like, I don't have to knock the guy out with every punch. I don't have to try to end him with every combo. And, I see it in sparring. I see it in plenty of other fights as I get stronger, as the rounds go on. He's never even gone 5 rounds. So it would 100% benefit me to take him there. And I think I can definitely drown him once we are there.
When I rewatched that fight today, the thing that stuck out to me was there was a crowd, there was crowd noise. Now there's not going to be anything. And it was surprising because it's been so long since I've heard the reaction of a crowd. So you think that could benefit you?
Yeah, honestly, I think it could, because I'm an entertainer, like, and I loved the crowd. Like Norfolk, like everything was perfect. Like I literally felt leading up to that fight like it was so perfect. Like he was like the villain, I was like the hero. The town was just so nice and peaceful, like 100%. Like my vibe, the crowd was 100% on my side. And I'm an entertainer. I went out there and I fought. I put on a show, and at the end of the day, not that that was the effect and affected the finish or anything, but still went out and kind of fought a certain way because of it. And I wish this time, like, hey, I could have won it for the crowd there. When I look back, I'm like, damn, I wish I could have won it there, because the crowd they were great. Even on the way out, they were just so great. People reaching out to me after, like I truly felt like, damn, that was where I was maybe supposed to win the fight, because the crowd was so great and it was perfect. But, like my life, fighting, nothing, it's not perfect. Like nothing can be. And it's like, that's just not the way things were supposed to work out. So now I look at it and I'm like, I couldn't stop the entertainment part of it, because the crowd was so awesome. And I feed into that. Like, I love that. Every time you land a punch on some dude's skull and you just hear the crowd, you just want to do it again. And you just want to do it again. And it is like, it's contagious, and what we were talking about earlier is just being a more tactical, a more strategic, a better, more conditioned fighter. I think the calmness of the no crowd, will definitely play to my benefit.
Joseph Benavidez, thank you so much for your time. We'll be watching you July 18th against Deiveson Figueiredo.
Can't wait. Thank you.